Okay, so the last few days we've been talking about the volume of prisms. So we've talked about a rectangular prism. Okay, and we said its volume equals big B times height, but we subbed in our area of a base formula, which is base times height, and you have always known it as length times width. So we're going to be length times width times height there, okay? And then we also talked about triangular prisms. Okay, and we know the formula there is big B times H also because that's what's on your formula chart. The base is a triangle, okay? So we would sub in that length times width divided by 2 times height. And we all just wrote it as length times width times height divided by 2. And that's how we broke it down the last few days. Okay, a pyramid takes it one step forward. It is a third of whatever shape prism it is. So if it's a square pyramid, it's a third of a cube. Does that make sense? Where a cube would be length times width times height. So we have the formula, and here it is. It's 1/3 base times height. This changes based on your base. Now, that's what's on your formula chart, guys. So what I need you to do is we're going to start memorizing these formulas, and we're going to put in our own formulas because I think they're easier, okay? And I think you understand them better. So on this one, we're saying this, okay? But 1/3 means the same thing as divide by 3. So I'm going to have you start writing length times width times height divided by 3.
What is divided by 3?
Okay, so that means the same thing as this right here, okay? So that's what we're going to write. And on your formula chart, when you get it the day of your unit exam and the day of your star exam, you're going to write pyramid, length times width times height divided by 3. Or length times width times height, and I'll show you the other formula here in a minute. Okay, this only works for a... Okay, so remember that this is the base right here. This is my base. So my base is a square, or a rectangle in this case. Okay, so I'm going to say my length, and just for numbers today, I'm going to make these simpler numbers and not as ugly. Are y'all good with that?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to say 4 times 3, because this is 4 times 3, and then the height of the pyramid is right there. Do you see it?
11.
And it's 11, and we're going to divide by 3. Same rules apply as yesterday. If you have a calculator, I want you to do 4 times 3 times 11 divided by 3. That's what I want you to do. Does that make sense? If you don't have a calculator, okay, those of you who don't have a calculator, you need to say, can I simplify somewhere? And I would say yes. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So that makes that 1, and that makes that 1. So we don't need to divide by 1 in the end. Is that going to change anything? So it'd be 4 times 1, which is 4, and then 4 times 11, which is 44. So the answer would be 44. Pretty simple, right? If you have a calculator, don't do it that way. Do 4 times 3 times 11 divided by 3. Got it? Okay? Just make sure you do it that way. Okay, so let's look at exercise 1. Okay, so this has a base, and it's a rectangle. So we're going to use the formula length times width times height divided by 3 because it's a what? Pyramid, a rectangular pyramid. So my length is 8. My width is 7. My height is 6. And I'm going to divide that by 3. Okay? So now I'm to a spot. Can I simplify anywhere? I say yes. 6 and 3, simplify. If you don't like it that way and you want to do it the other way, just like the calculator folks, do it. Do 8 times 7 times 6 divided by 3. But I would simplify, and I'd pick this 1 and make that 2. Okay? And I would do 8 times 7, which is 56. 56 times 2 is 112. So this is 112 centimeters cube. Okay, so look at number 2. Okay, so this is has a base of a square, yeah, it's actually a square this time. So we're going to do volume equals length times width times height divided by 3. Okay, So my length is 9, my width is 9, my height is 5, and I'm going to divide that by 3. Okay, we're going to simplify. I say I'm going to simplify this by 3. So I'm going to say 3 times 9 times 5, which is 27. 27 times 5 is 135. So I got 135 feet cubed on that one. It's going to change here in a minute, so just stay with me for right now. Okay, so this one's on its side. It's just a little bit different shape. It has that same rectangular base. I'm going to change the numbers just for time today, okay? You're going to get into some decimals on your homework. I want you to know that. But for right now, we're going to change. So I'm going to make this just 2, okay? So now it's a square, it's a rectangular pyramid, so it's length times width times height divided by 3. Notice every time I'm writing that formula, okay? So I'm going to say length is 7, width is 2, height is 10 divided by 3. I don't see anything that I could divide by 3 easily. Does that make sense? So I'm just going to multiply. Does that make sense? If I can't divide anything and simplify it, just do. 7 times 2 is what? 14 times 10 divided by 3. It's probably going to be a decimal, yes. 14 times 10 is 140 divided by 3. I still can't divide easily, so I'm going to do 140 divided by 3. And I'm going to get 4 here, 6, and it looks like it's going to repeat. Yeah, it's going to repeat that 0.6, so it's going to be 46.6 repeating inches cubed. Okay. Okay.
On my toes.
Just for instruction and time's sake on the overall thing, I'm going to look at this one. This has a different base. What kind of base is it? Do you see it? Triangle. That changes things a little bit, okay? Because when we're talking about a base, that means our base formula changes. It's not just length times width anymore. It's length times width divided by 2, right? Okay? So instead of divide by 3, we're going to divide by 6, okay? And I'm going to explain that to you because normally our formula is this, right? Yes. If on any pyramid, our formula is going to be that. Well, this is my base, so I'm going to do 1/3 times base times height divided by 2 times height because I have a triangle. This is my triangle, right? That's my triangle area formula. Yes? Okay, so now dividing by 3 and dividing by 2 would be the same thing as dividing by 6. So instead, I'm going to do length times width times height divided by 6. Okay? I promise it'll come out the same way, okay, if we do it divided by 6. So we're going to leave the numbers like they are. So length is 2. Width is 10. Height is 9.6. Divided by 6. Okay. I know 6 can go into 9.6, but I'm not going to mess with that. Does that make sense? I'm just going to multiply across. So 2 times 10 is what? 20. Okay. 20 times 9.6. Okay. I line up. I just need to multiply like normal and then move my decimal. So 12. Okay. So I got 192. 192 divided by 6. Okay, it's what? 32. So x equals 30, or not x equals, I'm sorry. I'm on a whole different playing field here. So we're going to say 32 kilometers cubed. Okay. And I have a little bit of time, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at one more of these. And I'm going to change the numbers because we don't have a lot of time. So I'm going to make that. Okay. So that one goes back to the length times width times height divided by 3. It is divided by 6 when it's a triangular prism. So look at the base on this one. You need to learn what kind of figures they are. I'm sorry, in a triangular pyramid. Okay, so it would be 11 times 15 divided by 3. So 11 times 11 times 5. And that's 121 times 5. And we got 605 meters cubed. Okay. Okay, so we're going to skip that last example. Look on the back side. So the first one is a triangular pyramid. I don't have these up here.
So you have to divide by 6?
So I want you to write the formula. Length times width times height divided by 6. Okay. And then go to the next one on number 2. What is that? It's a rectangular pyramid. So it's just length times width times height divided by 3. 3. Okay. Now, number 3 is a little funny. It's a different shape that we didn't talk about. But they give you the area of the base. Remember, this is your original formula at all times, right? If they give you this piece, right, and they do on number 3, all you have to do is plug it in for B and then multiply it times the height and you're done. Okay? So yeah, sometimes they're going to give you B. Okay? Number 4 is a rectangular pyramid. So it's going to, or a square pyramid, length times width times height divided by 3. Number 5 is a square pyramid, length times width times height divided by 3. And number 6 is a square pyramid. So really you only have one triangular pyramid on there. Okay? So get to work. We already have the formulas. Be smart. Do your math, multiply, and then divide wherever necessary. Okay, get started.